I'm Austin Reed. Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. We're live and local, and we save the best for last here on Central Valley Talk. We've interviewed so many different people and businesses and organizations, but now joining us live in our Tower District studios, we've got the, organizers. What would your exact title be with Celebrate Recovery at People's Church?
My official title is ministry leader.
Ministry leader, okay. And your name is Roger.
Yes.
And then Carol.
I'm Carol.
And you guys work together with Celebrate Recovery, correct?
Yes. That's a wonderful story in itself.
All right. Well, I want to hear everything. Thank you so much for joining us. People's Church is awesome. And it's massive. It's really big, especially since the reopening.
Yes.
So let's start from the beginning with your story, Roger.
Okay. I came to Celebrate Recovery 15 years ago, and which is just after Celebrate Recovery started at People's Church. And, I had just about ruined my marriage. I valued my marriage, I valued my family, and because of my lack of sexual integrity, I had just about ruined all of that, and I didn't know where else to go. And so it was kind of a last-ditch effort. I'd been blaming God for my problems for years and years, and blaming it didn't work, and denying that I had a problem didn't work, and I just knew that I had to do something.
And then, Carol, what's your story?
Well, my story is that he's my husband, and he had been attending the ministry for a couple of years, and I saw tremendous changes happening in him. And I really struggled with the aftermath of having grown up in an abusive home, and the anger and unforgiveness and replaying the abuse all the time was really a life-controlling issue for me. And one day he said to me, "You could be free of this." And I couldn't even imagine what it would feel like to be free of that, because it took up so much space in my head. But I thought, well, I don't know if it can really help me, but it's about God, it's about Jesus, it's about the Bible, so it can't hurt. So, okay, I'll go. And I quickly realized when I started pursuing the Lord and working through the program, that it really was going to help me, and that over a period of the first few months, God set me free from all of that.
Now, how long has Celebrate Recovery been around at People's Church?
About 16 years.
16 years.
And we're part of actually an international group of Celebrate Recoveries that's been around. Celebrate Recovery as an organization has been around about 30 years.
Okay.
And it's just a phenomenal organization.
And for people out there that don't know what exactly Celebrate Recovery is, let's give everybody the background.
Okay, sure. Celebrate Recovery shares a lot of roots with AA and NA, and so you'll hear us use recovery language. We differ in two key categories. One is our higher power is Jesus Christ, and we never compromise on that. And we identify ourselves in terms of our relationship with Jesus as opposed to our addictions. So if you hear me introduce myself, I'll say I'm a child of God who struggled with sexual integrity, and my name is Roger. So that's
And that's the other thing that is really cool is it's not just focusing on problems with, say, alcohol or drugs. It's really any addiction that's unhealthy. Is that right?
Exactly. We like to use the terms hurts, habits, or hang-ups because almost everyone struggles with something in their life. And by identifying in terms of relationship with Jesus and Jesus, our higher power, He heals everything. So I've seen. I haven't seen every addiction come through our doors, but a huge number from alcohol, drugs, all manners of sexual addictions, anger,
gambling,
the list goes
Food
on.
addiction.
Abuse,
Food
food
addiction,
addictions.
And,
Yeah.
and it's not just addictions either, that it's for any life-controlling issue. So in my case, it wasn't an addiction, but it was a massive hurt and a lot of anger. And so God set me free from that. So we've seen people come for anxiety, depression, fear, shopping addiction, sugar addiction, eating disorders, unhealthy relationships, codependency, trying to control somebody else's life, not having any boundaries themselves. All of those kinds of things that mess our lives up, this program and the Lord work for everything. So it works for everything.
And that's why, the name says it all, Celebrate Recovery, because you're recovering from kind of, if you think about it, you're recovering from evil tendencies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, okay, when somebody, say we have someone that is struggling right now, they're watching us and they're thinking they know what they're doing is wrong, they need some help. Maybe they have tried Alcoholics Anonymous, they've tried Narcotics Anonymous, or one of the recovery programs, but they've never come to Celebrate Recovery. Why should they give it a shot, Carol?
Well, because the power of God can overcome anything. And I like to think of it as this way. I can't. God can and will. And I'm going to let him. So I cannot fix myself. I don't have the power to stop doing whatever it is I'm doing that's dysfunctional, because I've tried. But God can fix me, and he will, if I'll cooperate with him. And so I'm going to let him. I'm going to do what he instructs me to do, and I'm going to trust him and his power to heal me. And we have seen just the most wonderful things happen in people's lives and relationships and marriages, and it certainly has helped our marriage not only survive but be reborn. So it's great. We had some bad years there, but it's great now.
And it's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed of, right? Because humans are not perfect.
Exactly. And that stepping through the door to Celebrate Recovery the first time is an incredibly hard thing to do, and we understand that. And so we value people that come the first time and just kind of wrap our arms around them in love. And what they're going to find is they're going to find friendly people. They're also going to find out that all of a sudden, wait a minute, I'm not in this alone. There are other people struggling just like me. And so you stop that isolation and put yourself in an environment where, yes, healing can take place.
Well, and even somebody that is part of the AA program or NA program, this is they could add this onto their recovery, into their recovery life with going to Celebrate Recovery, right? Do you see people that are in both programs?
Oh, exactly. The gentleman that founded Celebrate Recovery People's Church came out of AA. And
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, so he taught us the AA way in some ways, but he loved Celebrate Recovery even more because it dealt with everything, and he had some codependency and some pride issues in his life, and he found healing for those at the same time. So it's just such a well-rounded, wonderful place to be.
So, set us up the story and the night. Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. What happens?
Okay. First thing we do, we kick it off with we'll open in prayer. We always do that.
Okay.
We'll do a little bit of worship. We keep announcements very, very short. And then tomorrow night is a testimony night. So we've got someone coming in that's going to share their recovery story with us. And tomorrow night is also Chip Night. So once a month we celebrate recovery birthdays.
Cool.
And mine's coming up in August, so I don't get to celebrate quite yet, but a lot of people celebrate. We celebrate. We just love it when people achieve sobriety for whatever reason they came for different periods of time. And then we'll spend some time in open share, what we call open share groups. So there'll be a men's group and a women's group. Your first time there, we put you in this very, very special class we call Newcomers 101, and give you a chance to find out, how does recovery work? How do I fit into this? get all your questions answered, and then at about 8:30 we'll just have some snacks and get to know each other and chit chat and that kind of stuff.
And it's every single week. Do you suggest people to go every week or as much as they can? I mean, is there any like you're in trouble if you don't show up, you know?
No, you're never in trouble no matter what, because, you know, we're all there because we've got issues. Nobody's there because they're just helping out. So we give each other a lot of grace. But if a person is serious about recovery, they're going to do whatever it takes to recover. And one of those things is to be consistent with their recovery meetings, be consistent with whatever work in recovery their sponsor is asking them to do or what the Lord is instructing them to do. And so we think consistency is very important. As people start to be hit or miss with their attendance, they start to be hit or miss with everything in recovery, and pretty soon that's relapse. And with relapse, there's no shame. Just come on back, just
Right.
start all over again.
Right.
Don't run away.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's great that you know. So you welcome people back with full arms,
Absolutely.
and we've got about a minute left, but if you can think of one or two stories, maybe one story from each of you on people that you have quote saved. I know that's hard. one person
We haven't
each.
saved anyone, but the Lord
You know,
has.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There was a gentleman that came about 8 years ago, and he was in the depths of depression. He's going through divorce. He was just, he could barely get in the door. He could barely function, and but he allowed God to heal him, and he allowed that process, and he worked the process, and now he's one of our most valued leaders. You'd never recognize him if you saw it, compared two videos of him 8 years ago and today. An entirely different man. He's a whole man today, and
It's huge.
a lot
That's
less.
huge.
It is. It really is.
Carol, can you think of anybody?
Sure. I remember one woman who came because her children all had addictions.
Wow.
And that's a really tough place for a parent to be. And so she was just consumed with worry over her children and trying to get them into recovery and try to help them get counseling and all those things. But just they weren't ready. It just wasn't working. But it was making her physically and spiritually sick to be so consumed with that. And as she pursued the Lord, as she worked through the steps of the program, she learned to be able to just hand her children over to God. She calls it putting them on the altar and letting go. That letting go is the hard part, but she was able to do it and just hand them over to God. And then she could be healed, and she was healed. And then God began to work in their lives. So it's just been an amazing journey.
Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. It's in the Jackie Johnson Room. People's Church is located right off Herndon at Cedar.
7172 North Cedar,
7172 North Cedar.
between Herndon and Alluvial.
Perfect. And I would love for you guys to come back. Maybe each time you have if you have some kind of event or a special Celebrate
Great.
Recovery night, come on back and let's promote it. Okay.
Okay,
Fantastic.
great. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Roger and Carol, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes.
And whatever religion you are a part of, I think we can all agree that God does amazing things.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Celebrate Recovery is one of them. And I love that your shirt, Summit of Hope.
Yes. Once a year, everybody in Celebrate Recovery gets together, and we have a summit, and it is the most amazing event that I've ever been to in my entire life.
So that'll be coming up then,
It's coming up at the end of July.
end of July. Oh, well then you guys got to come back like a week before and promote that if you can, or at least I'll give the shout out on the
Okay.
air.
Okay. Great.
All right, thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm Austin Reed. That does it for Central Valley Talk. We'll be back tomorrow starting at I think 11 a.m. Yeah. In the meantime, check out peopleschurch.org for more information. And if you are struggling, know that there is help out there. Do not be embarrassed. I've been where you may have, and I got help. So, bye everybody.